Red Giants? Because again, they don't really know, and they're going to find out what's going to happen.
Hey, in my defense, if I knew that Kyle TZ and Benny QT is not playing, I would probably say Yudu Red Giants would take 2-1. Okay? I didn't know.
Ooh.
I did not know.
Okay.
But, you know, all things considered, you know, every team has made their preparations. They start their rosters for a reason. They know that they know what they're doing, right? That the reason why they are a management team, there's coach, there's analysts to kind of test the waters as well, especially when it comes to the meta ships as well, where things are a little bit more unpredictable now when it comes to MM chains. But now, let's talk a little bit more into what's the drafts here coming from both sides, because when it comes to playstyles here, Yudu Red Giants really likes to lean a lot into the Arlet gameplay with I think it's Gojaz that actually sets it up for the team to actually secure the wave. And if Gojaz does not have a very, very good lane like XP lane, Yudu Red Giants do have the tendency to kind of, I would say, fall apart if they do not get those space to create. Whereas Echo, I'm curious to see, can they actually do what they're doing right now?
Okay. All right. We're going into the draft, and that's coming up in about 20 seconds or so. And you talked about the fact that, you know, hey, this is the first one. There's a lot at stake. There's a lot of question marks going in. But if you were, you know, again, the coach of one of these teams, which of the teams would you think that, hey, we must win this game one to set the tone?
I think that's going to be Yudu. That's a little bit more pressure on top of Yudu because of the fact that if you can beat one of the best in the business in your first series, it is going to be a huge morale booster for yourselves. And by the same time, it does put a big target on your ass, on you, because how do you beat Echo? And that's something that a lot of teams have been struggling, especially in the previous tournaments as well. So now, without further ado, we are going to be jumping into the draft right now, and I'm curious to see who is going to be the starting lineup. And so far, based on statistics as well, there has been a lot favoring on towards the red side, a little bit more now compared to the earlier days of the recent meta.
It's good to see, and I'm happy to see how this one kind of starts out, right? I think that there's a couple targeted bans already with like the Fanny and the Diggy and all that. But, you know, just kind of getting into this one, you know, you like the red side. What about the red side that really just kind of makes it a little bit easier for the teams?
You know, because of the fact that if you are going to be batting, if you're not batting power pickups, definitely in the first phase draft, red side does have the advantage to actually take on towards that. Lean towards that direction. In this case, Arlot is something that you can lean on. Novaria is something that we are going to be looking for. Maybe even Freddy Marcus to the degree. So I like that, you know, Echo, they are keeping all this open just because of the fact that they can kind of dictate the tempo they want to set here. And this Diggy ban coming from Echo is very interesting because of the fact that recently, I can't remember what was the team as well. There was a team during the group stages. They brought in a very interesting composition where they brought in the Novaria to pair up with the Guinevere and the Minotaur just because of the fact of this, I would say, knockback wombo combo strategy. And because of the fact that Novaria's out kind of increases the hitbox, it makes it very difficult to play against, especially if you do not have those purifies.
Yeah, it's gonna have to add up right here. But if we're looking at what the first pick happened, it looks like Echo are gonna just go with the Claude to kind of start things off. Gold laner, I mean, Claude seems to be pretty popular already at MPL ID as well. But your thoughts on a first pick, Claude?
That's the thing, right? Like, starting of the meta, I think Claude isn't like the first pick material because like Melissa is just good, Beatrix is just so much better. But when it comes to marksman department, you have to think about plan B. In this case, when it comes to plan A and plan B, plan A pretty much win your lane, at the perfect lane, win the game, right? But when it comes to chances of making a comeback, heroes like Beatrix, heroes like Melissa, their comeback mechanics are very limited because of the fact that it is so difficult to find farm across the map, especially when your enemy team is going to be snowballing you. Having a Claude gives you that flexibility because you have split push, you have escape mechanisms, you are going to be forcing people so much commitment onto you to actually make a play. And this is something that I think the Indonesian teams and Philippine teams understands and knows how to play around this composition, and it's scary. And as of yet, interesting. Angela as well as the Ling brought out. And recently there has been talks as well, Angela having a little bit of buff changes because of the emblem, but for them to play this hyper carry strategy, I am not sure what Echo is thinking about this.
Yeah, it seems a bit of a weird one, kind of just going into this. Again, maybe they're looking to just shift things up. Again, if we're going to kind of refer back to MPL ID, which I think is a good indicator of where the meta should be because of the fact that, you know, the new emblem system, it's a new season that's starting out. But if we're going to talk a little bit about Fredrin, he's 1-5, he's 16% win rate. But on the other side, if you're looking at what Faramis has done, he's the 5th most picked. He's won 6 times, lost once. So, I mean, between the two, they're about 50-50. Just very interesting to kind of start things off. But again, kind of first phase, first 3 picks, you can kind of see how Red Giants are wanting to play.
Give me a target.
Wow, this is a very interesting draft coming from both sides. Like, the core requirement playing against a team such as Echo or maybe even Blacklist International to a degree is you have to be very, very spot on in your macro gameplay. And I like that Echo is playing towards their strengths. Their macro gameplay has been very, very expected. These are pretty clear cuts that having Ling, having Claude, they are going to be split pushing all the way through, which is something that Red Giants may kind of struggle a little bit when it comes to committing to these fights, because all Echo needs to do is just not die and just give space away. And this is something that if they can kind of split push all the way through, Red Giants won't be able to do too much in punishing this unless they play extremely aggressive. And having this Hilda pickup is great, and I like that Red Giants, they're betting to kind of enable this Hilda to just annoy this Ling right from the early first 4 minutes of the game. I guess pre-4 if you think about it.
Yeah. I like the pickup. I think it's pretty well rounded. I think that, you know, you want to see, you got your control, you got your tankiness, you have your survivability, so to speak. But is it good enough to go up against Ling and you know, and the Claude, right, which had that potential to burst, get in, get out, and, you know, move on with their lives, so to speak. But it's one of those things where now Echo, how do they round themselves out, understanding that the Faramis is there? You're going to see the Cult Altar. That's going to be a nuisance when it comes to team fights, and you have to work around their cooldown. What exactly are you looking to pick up here as Echo?
As Echo, that's the thing, right? They need 2 very, very annoying heroes to actually push them back and buy a little bit more time. In this case, I feel like if they want to play this tanky strategy, they can still go for the Esmeralda, which is something that Sanford can actually play. And with this Angela, it kind of enables it to do its own thing. You need a space creator, and having this Uranus kind of banned off as well, it feels like they don't really need to farm. They don't need to take team fights. All they need to do is have 2 very, very annoying heroes, buy time for this Ling and Claude to be enabled. So I feel like they might be leaning on this Esmeralda coming from Echo, but Red Giants, they need to be able to identify this. Are they going to save up their XP lane? So Beatrix, personally, not a big fan, just because of the fact that when a Ling dives into Beatrix, not really the greatest to get away. I was expecting them to go for the Melissa, but considering that there is the Claude as well, I guess you need to have some way to trade damage, I guess, coming from Red Giants.
I mean, Beatrix has it all, right? In terms of damage, it has mobility. It's one of those things where if the positioning is perfect, you know, yeah, you're safe. You're going to be fine. But it's one of those things where, can you be safe? Can you actually get away from everybody else? It's going to really come out to the you know, the supporting cast, so to speak, to ensure that your Beatrix can really pop off. But it's going to be one of those moments where, you know, there's going to be a target on her.
Payback. Your team.
Oh, okay. Not the Esmeralda. I was expecting as well, but the Terizla works just as good as well. Provides a little bit of CCs, does have the damage potential to kind of threaten the back lines. In this case, I don't think the Hilda is gonna have too much of an issue coming from Red Giants, but I definitely feel like the Faramis Cult Altar is gonna be completely shredded. So based on this composition coming in from Echo, I don't really like it, just because of the fact that they don't have a very, very strong frontliner when it comes to those head-to-head clashes. But I like the idea that they have in this draft, which is macro gameplay, which is something that Red Giants right now is very lacking here. And when it comes to split push, there's absolutely nothing you can do right now unless the final ban comes in. But nope, they are gonna double down in this CC composition fight. So I guess if Yudu Red Giants is able to just play aggressively and catch Echo off guard, this snowball coming from Yudu is going to be extremely scary. So it is going to be a hit and miss coming from me.
All right, my concern right now is the Beatrix here, right? I feel like if you focus the Beatrix, you take her out, then you're going to really struggle. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of control. You have a whole bunch of, you know, tanky guys, so to speak, that can just get in the way. But I think you're going to have a bit of a rough time. There's a lot of eggs in one basket, whereas in Echo, like, there are so many avenues of attack. They have different angles. They can outposition you. They do need to be very careful. And yes, they are squishy, so they do need to play a little bit, you know, perfectly in the positioning game. But, you know, if we're looking at lineups aside, which one do you think is just easier to play overall?
Personally, Yudu Red Giants draft is definitely easier to play because the draft that Echo is trying to play right now is very, very difficult and it requires high-level communication and high-level teamwork. And of course, I'm excited to see how they are going to be playing here because as of now, we are going to be jumping into the game. The first game here on the first day for the challenge finals here, the group stages. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be Echo going up against Yudu Red Giants and I'm extremely excited to see how this goes.
This is going to be an amazing game. It's going to be the start of exactly what we wanted to go into it. Of course, Echo Esports, Yudu Red Giants Esports, both, you know, two teams that really have a lot to prove. We're going to see exactly how they play this one out. And again, Yudu Red Giants already have the red side. You talked about the advantages that they got. I think going into this one, laning is going to be super important for them.
Yeah, this is not something that Yudu Red Giants want an opening. They need to find a way to punish Link. However, bottom side though,
oh, Sanford is already about half life. And yeah, they're kind of skirmish a bit here. Nothing to really worry about. But okay, if you had to just pick a team that's like, hey, this one needs to do a much better job in the laning phase, which is that team? As I say that, immobile, Zach getting a little low. Pancake's going to go in. He's going to do a little bit of damage. He's going to be stunned himself. And now Zyda's joined the fight. Pancake's going to be on the run. Go under tower. Zach is going to cover that. And they should be fine.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful defense coming from Echo Israel. Like right from the get-go, from the entire start as well, they knew exactly what Yudu Red Giants was trying to do. This is, I would say, the perfect starting pre-4 coming from Echo PH. Like they're getting so much pressure on the lane. They're able to stop this, I would say, this Hilda coming from Pancake from delaying Zyda's farm. So I would say the first condition for Echo PH to kind of win this game is to not give too much space to Yudu Red Giants. So they are currently putting this wall where Yudu Red Giants can't seem to penetrate as of yet. But as soon as I say this...
Oh, but Zach solo! Zach goes for the flicker play. He doesn't actually get the kill. Now Zach is going to be worried. He's going to be looking to be left for dead. But Zyda gets first blood, and that is not what you want to see. The Link picking up that first blood money.
Same time, Yudu Red Giants, they were able to sacrifice a player. They do trade the turtle instead. So a little bit of miscommunication, but it feels like Echo PH, they weren't expecting this place, but at the same time, Pancake, can you see the purple
Pancake? Oh, he'll easily take that one. Oh, Zyda somehow survives the Tempest of Blades, keeping him up. And he's going to be back, and they have the immobile. They're going to go for this one. Zyda, Pancake is continuing on. Pancake's going to be on the run. Yawi flickers. He's going to be fine for now.
Oh boy, that was so close. He could have gone a little bit sideways here, but Echo PH, they do secure the bottom side there, so that's a little bit of plus point for them. But now, finally, Yudu Red Giants getting the space they need. They are going to try and force a fight.
Oh, nice two-man knockout. Zach getting low. Sanji's going to do that. The feathered airstrike, that's going to be connected. Flicker away to Gojens. He's going to get out, and they're going to let him. No, he's going to be killed. Sanford will take that one. So 3 early kills going the way of Echo.
Oh, mistakes. It's not over yet though, but it seems like Yudu Red Giants, they made a little bit small mistake. They thought for a fact that they were able to drop Zyda down very, very low, but that's the thing about Link, right? You can rotate between lanes as quickly as you can if you have those purple bubbles. In this case, they were able to utilize this, punish Yudu Red Giants for this overextension, and I would say a little bit of a miscalculation, and so far, they are playing in towards their strengths, and as of yet, Echo PH, they're trying to get this power farm here, but they are going to scout a Pancake though.
Oh, the feathered airstrike right onto him. It's the perfect setup. You have your stuns. Pancake is going to be killed, and that's going to be 4 kills going the way of Echo. This net worth lead is at 1,500 at this stage.
Yeah, this is not going well coming from Yudu Red Giants because, you know, things should not be going in this way, but Echo just predicted every textbook play that Yudu Red Giants coming, but now a ballsy attempt coming from Stekis though.
Oh, they've got the Fenrir, and it looks like they're going to go for more. They do have the Isekis. He's going to be slowed down. He's going to dash over the wall. They have the second side. The turtle's now been spawned, but Zac, the Cult Altar, that's going to be the first one. Zac is trying to flicker. He gets killed. Zyda will take that. The Tempest of Blades actually going to be a little off the mark. They have a nice 3-man stun. Sekis is going to be killed. Zyda's going to be killed in return, but now Gojas is on the run. He's being focused. No real way. He gets dashed. He does get killed in the end. Not able to get away. 7-1 going the way of Echo.
Yeah, this is a beautiful, beautiful play coming from Echo as well, because like Yudo Red Giants, they overcommitted to stay a little bit too much. The good play was that they were able to force Zyda in that earlier fight with this purple buff, but because of how long this fight was drawn out, even though the retribution from Zyda was used, it was pretty much resetted, and then they actually got the kill, forced Yudo Red Giants back, got the kill onto its Sekis, and because of that, they were able to secure a turtle for themselves. So I would say it's a big W coming from Echo PH, knowing that, oh no, Zyda does not have retribution. Okay, what can we do? Let's force a fight, prolong it enough, buy enough time, and once I have the retribution, okay, I'm going to secure a turtle for myself. So Yudo Red Giants just wasn't expecting Echo PH to hard commit in that situation.
Yeah, timing was great. I mean, understanding cooldowns, right? And when to take that fight. I think it was super important. Now, if you're Yudo Red Giants, what are you doing to get yourself back in the game at this stage?
Ooh, that's a very difficult position here. In this case, maybe getting a kill onto Sanford would be a pretty good one as well, because as of yet, he's pretty much the brick wall for now, because top side though, Sekis, they're gonna make a 10.
Zeki's going 1 versus 4. He was just trying to invade the enemy jungle, not able to do anything. But I mean, you've attracted a lot of attention. I seem that's pretty good work. But now Echo have been a picture perfect almost with their defense, understanding the different lanes. And if we're looking at this net worth lead, yes, it's about 2.6. But, you know, Yudo Red Giants doing what they can, trying to find any sort of gaps in the Echo defense.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. Considering how Echo is just playing around this situation, pay attention to the map as well. Like, they're having Outplay just playing all the way on the other side of the map. And they actually went for a swap here where the Cloud is playing against the Arlon. Not exactly the most ideal matchup coming for Yudo Red Giants, but it does give Outplay a lot of room to secure those farm. And that is something that they're just doing so much better, right? Like, they understand that this matchup is going to be favoring them, and if we're winning all these matchups, we are going to get those level leads. And in this case, they are starting to scale away bit by bit against Yudo Red Giants.
It's a very, very confident, you know, matchup, right? The fact that you're putting the Cloud up there, but I mean, he's kind of left alone. He's basically isolating things. I mean, this is going to be pretty huge in terms of the turtle, and it looks like Bennett's Rage is going to be a little off the mark. Sanford doesn't do any of this. They have the vision of the turtle getting very low. Who's going to go for this one? Sekis will secure that one. That's a good win for them. They do have the nice little knock up. Gojas is going to be knocked up in a nice 4-man stun. Sanford continuing on. The penalty zone was just on point. The feathered airstrike is going to be raining on top of them. Super Red is going to be killed, and now Yudo Red Giants on the run. You've got nothing left. All you have is Sekis and Pancake, now just trying to get to safety.
Oh boy, Sekis, he's just stuck right now, and Sanford getting the kill coming from Echo PH. Beautifully done. Yudo Red Giants, they were a little bit desperate for the turtle, but there's just no turning back in this scenario. Echo PH just catching them with their hands, and in this case, not having those major ultimates and not dishing out those damage is gonna hurt them so much. However, they find Sanji.
They find him, but he does get away. The feathered airstrike just actually zones them away. And they thought, I mean, they had the numbers, and they're not going to go 4 versus 2. And they're going to realize that, hey, we got to play this a little bit safer. We're going to slow things down.
Yeah, in this case, you know, Echo PH, they're just getting what their win condition needs. And in this case, getting farm on the spot. And Outplay right now is getting a little bit too scary. He's level 10. He's got major damage out of the power spikes as well, and that's something that Yudo Red Giants may be a little bit losing out. But no, the purple buff stolen coming in from Zyda, and Yudo Red Giants is in a very, very tough spot right now.
The worst part about that was that Yudo Red Giants had numbers. There were 4 of them, and they were all kind of waiting in the bush, and it seems like they're almost playing scared, which is very worrying at this stage. You don't want to give Echo that advantage. I understand you don't want to take a bad team fight, but sometimes you need to understand where, hey, the numbers are actually in my favor. We need to defend our purple buff. We got to make sure that Zyda doesn't take everything from us.
Am I seeing this right? Is that a lightning truncheon on the Claude?
Oh,
Huh.
I didn't see it in time.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, but at the same time, if Outplay actually played that, that's pretty much next level. I've never seen a lightning truncating play from a Claude, but yeah, as of now, Echo, they are gonna try and test the waters here, try and threaten the fight against Yudu Red Giants. And currently, this is not the great time for Yudu Red Giants, because if you pay attention to Seki's level, it's level 10 as compared to Zydo's level 13. So the retribution battle, it is going to be heavily favored on towards Echo, and it's not a great time for Yudu Red Giants to even contest this at all, if you think about it.
Yeah, but the feathered airstrike, that was used very, very early. I think a little premature for my taste, but it looks like they've got him. Sanford is getting a little bit low. He's going to kind of spot them out. Yudu Red Giants are making a beeline for the Lord, realizing that they need to go. Nice knockup. Outplay is going to be killed. That's a huge win for them. And Zyda now looking to fight this. The Cult Ultra's already been expended as well. Now the Tempest of Blade slices and dices, kills Super Red. That's a lot of the damage, but you have the control. Pancake is going to be killed. Zyda now on the run. Sanford is very low. Is he going to be able to do this? He does get the kill. He's somehow out healing everything, doing the damage, and that's what you want. Sanji's going to be killed as well. Doja's now on the run. He's going to be killed. Zyda will secure that one. Now 3 left standing. They're going to focus on the Lord.
Yeah, that was a beautifully executed fight as well coming from Echo PH. There's just nothing Yudu Red Giants can actually do. And the question with this composition is that Yudu Red Giants, they have this strong front-to-front CC composition, but they just don't have the right lockdown and burst to actually take down this nimble hero. In this case, Zyda pretty much getting free reign all the way through. They don't have a hard lockdown to actually punish this Cloud, and this is starting to be a very, very big problem coming for Yudu Red Giants, because they are designed to play for prolonged team fights, but Echo PH, they're not here to drag it out. They're here to isolate pick fights, get one, take them out. That's pretty much it. And now look at this, Echo PH looking for the catch.
Oh, the blazing duet! The Venice Rage used defensively, but Super Red just gets blown up. No chance. We talked about positioning. Not going to happen. Goja's going to be killed as well, but Zyda will fall a little too ambitious. He does go down, but again, it's one of those things where if Goja's go down, you're going to, or Super Red, excuse me, you're going to have a bad time.
Oh, this is tough. This is brutal, but clean so far. Echo PH continuing to assault Sanford, making the attempt here. Is he gonna get anything though? But seems like
this is just a flex,
no.
Right? I mean, you've got the Lord here, that's pushing, but Sanford's just up front, just being this menace. Yeah, you got to deal with him, but you can't get free shots onto the Lord. I mean, this is a very difficult situation. But as I say that, Bennett's Rage will do some damage, and Sanford will fear that one. Now the Lord's gonna be left for dead.
Yeah, that's the thing, right, Oller? This is a very, very brutal game coming. I would say a textbook game coming from Echo PH, right? If you think about how they're playing, like they're understanding their values, they're understanding their traits really, really much in favor, and they know when to apply pressure when it needs most. And this is something that Yudu Red Giants don't seem to understand. And as of yet, they just don't have the tools to punish Zyda. And look at this. Again, another purple ball being stolen here. Winter, I would say the Winds of Nature also being purchased from this spot. At this stage, they just don't have the magical damage to actually kill off Echo PH right now.
Yeah, no magical damage. I mean, it seems like, you know, they've been focused on, they've been very reactive. Yudu Red Giants, that is. Like, almost every single team fight, any sort of initiation that's happening, Echo chooses who they want to kill. And they just pretty much burst you down, don't give you any sort of chance to protect that person, right? And again, it comes back to the Beatrix. Super Red, you got to keep him alive. It's been very difficult for him. He hasn't had the game that he's wanted, but this is one of those situations where, you know, as a team, what can we do better to give ourselves a chance?
Yeah, and also when it comes to this plays here, I feel like giving them a chance. I feel like Yudu Red Giants right now, they need to find a way to enable I would say enable Steffi's to play.
There we go! That's going to be used, Pancake. He's going to get a little bit low, the feathered airstrike, but Sanji's already been killed. Pancake's going to be killed in return. The Tempest of Blade, that's going to do some work. Zac is going to be killed in that one. Sanford getting a little bit low. Gochis is down for the count. Zyda doing some work, but he's going to fall, and Super Red did survive, at least for the time. He's doing some damage. He's on the run, but now everybody's drawing a beat on him. They want to make sure that they kill him, and Sanford will take your triple kill. He has the most damage in the game, and now 10 kills to his name.
Oh boy, GG, well played, man. Like, just like that, now Outplay gonna be securing the Lord all by himself. They don't really have Zyda for this, but Yudu Red Giants, they can't really do too much. Zac QT, the only one left, but with this, they I'm gonna try to prolong this fight, Sanford. Oh no, the tower is not even aggro on Sanford. Feels bad for you two Giants, man.
Yeah, feels bad, but it was one of those things where, you know, Echo were taking the Lord. They were actually doing a little bit of, you know, chip damage on that T3 mid. They were doing as much work as they could possibly do. You talked about how maybe they should slow things down or whatever, and it's like Echo is like, no. We just got our foot down on the gas pedal. We're just trying to end this game as quickly as possible, and you can see.
8K network lead with the Lord knocking in. Echo PH here, just not taking any unnecessary risks. As you can see, they're just playing this very slow, soft poking, securing the outer turret before taking it as well. Red Giants, they need to force play, but seems like Echo PH is just not giving it to them at all. Look at this, they're just not overcommitting. They're syncing up the lanes. They just want to take turrets bit by bit.
Yeah, you can play it safe. I mean, you have a level net worth lead. You have, I mean, everything is going your way, right? This is one of those things, as I say that Gojus is going in for this one. Sanford, that is, he's just trying to get to safety. He gets back out. He somehow survives most of that. The Appraiser's Wrath, a little off the mark. Seki's is going to back up with a feathered airstrike right on top, and he slams it down, kills him, and it looks like they're going to get something out of that, which is, of course, just Seki's life.
That was a clutch play coming from YRG. Like, if the hard guard wasn't on time, I'm pretty sure Sanford would have died, but it's not over yet. Look at this outplay, zoning them out, and Gojus as well. Gets a nice take onto Zaida, and that might be the comeback that Red Giants actually needs to stay alive right now.
Okay, it's just one kill, right? You know, Zaida, if anything, has been playing a little bit over-aggressive in the sense that if they've almost played a flawless game. 8 kills to Yudo's name, and 4 of them have gone the way to Zaida, right? So if anything, you know, Zaida's been like, okay, I can play this one. I'm going to be as aggressive as possible, give my team some space. And Echo Esports, yeah, you play a little aggressively, but we just know when to back off.
At the same time here, with the turret also being zoned off, Red Giants, they finally get the zoom that they need. However, the bigger question here is, can they replicate that play? Because Gojus now going to be making an attempt.
Oh, Sanford going very deep. That was actually very deep, but he somehow survives. Does a lot of AoE damage, but they're going to back off here. Sanji's going to kind of, you know, skirmish a bit, but, you know, again, they're going to back off at the right time.
Oh boy, like the amount of layers that Red Giants needs to go through to figure out what actually works, they finally found that secret sauce, and that's going to be Gojus catching the right target with those final flashes. And Echo PH, they need to realize that if they are caught out in a very awkward position, it is going to be turning disastrous for them. However, Red Giants, they messed up I would say, their skills a little bit, you know, allowing Sanford to kind of use his ultimate to get out, but pay attention to his kills. This Terizla is 10-0-10, and technically this is supposed to be a tank XP laner, and for him to get 10-0-10 shows that there is a reason why Terizla is in the current meta. It's just really good, especially with the recent emblem changes.
Okay, you talk about the 10-0-10, but Yawi, 0018, as a fellow roamer myself, let's give a little shout out to where Yawi's playing well as well. The fact that he hasn't died speaks volumes about this team and the way that they're doing, they're 24-8 and they have this 5K net worth lead. They have firm control. As I say, that the Lord now is going to be focused on, but it's only 2 members from Echo.
Yeah, when it comes to getting Brave Smites as well, as long as your skills are hitting people, you are going to be able to get some sort of HP back in return. In this case, Sanford and Outplay going for that means that it is going to be very difficult to actually take them down. So I would say having those Dominance Eyes and Necklace Endurance will help to a certain degree, but to what avail? But as of now, Concealed plays coming for Red Giants. They want to try and punish Sanji, and they do try and make an attempt. Unfortunately, it misses his timing, and now Pancake needs to run for his life, and he's going to be good. However, the Lord commits right here as well. They need to try and commit to this as well. Who gets it? And it's going to be Zaida that actually gets it once again. And now Red Giants, they need to back off. Seki's with the Appraiser's Draft, not getting the finish at all, and now they are in a little bit of an awkward spot here. They try to kill off Outplay, but they just can't kill him at all, and now Echo will go in for the all-out brawl. Gojus trades 1, but now Super Red for a kill. He's gonna try and kill Sanford, but does buy enough time, and Super Red will be picked off, and that's gonna be a triple kill for Sanji for Echo PH.
Yeah, I mean, that's looking to be all she wrote, at least for game 1. I mean, the minions are here. The Lord is going to be crashing. That was actually the perfect fight that you wanted to Echo to kind of slow things down, or to finish the game, so to speak. But the Tempest of Blade slices and dices. Zach, no real chance, and it's going to be completely wiped out. GG, game 1 goes the way of Echo. Does it in 19 minutes. Does it in style.
Wow, that was a big clutch coming in from FOBH. Like them going for, I would say, the Brave Smite emblem up on the marksman as well as